Hello everybody, hope you're all having another blessed day. Today, I'm going to be making a video for you guys to showcase what's the highest universal resist gear you can get for 130 fire in a game of Wizard101. Now, I'll say in advance, you cannot go immune to all as a fire in Wizard101 yet. There's simply not enough high resist gear for the game of fire, and only scores I think I can go immune right now are ice and balance. I'm not sure if life can. If life can, then that just makes him probably the best tank score period in the game of Wizard101 if you're questing. But I'm pretty sure it still does balance and ice that can go immune to all. So with that kind of discussion, let's just jump into what the stats are for the highest universal resist on my 130 fire. So right now, the highest you can get is 97 to all. Now we'll say right now, you can technically get that 97 shadow resist up to a 99, as long as you go and you craft the Darkmoor deck, and you can upgrade if you want to get the Triangle Jewel, but this will just give you 2% shadow resist. I actually do not have this anymore, because apparently I got rid of it before the video. Don't really know why, I apparently just felt like doing that, but that's just something to keep in mind. You can technically have that 99, but I don't think it's a big deal. So you have 97 resist, only 12 accuracy, because that's the socket I have on my deck right now for heal or jade, whatever I'm doing at the time. So I don't really like how you get no accuracy for any of your spells. Let's see, you also have Meek block. Who cares about block? Critical still 1% because it's still broken when you're jading. You have basically no in and outgoing, and really low power pit. Yeah, it's 69%. Haha, laugh about now. So yeah, it's okay. Okay, the big thing is that it's flexing with the 97 universal resist. And to get this, you're gonna have the Jade Hood. You're going to have the Jade Robe. Both of those are the highest universal resist robes and hat in the game, I believe. Next, you'll have the Rockstar Kicks, which I'll say you can actually swap this out for the Prestige shoes you can get from the massive fantasy bundle, I believe, or what it is. If you get the max level of that, it also gives you 18 resist. But I had this one because I was farming the stuff for it, so I'm not going to waste time getting the bundle and getting those since I already have these. So, there's two options for that. Then, of course, I have the Death Metal Skull, because it used to be around 120 the best one you can have in the game because of the damage and all the stats. And now, since they added like the Fury sets, I decided to put this on and then get the pet for it. Now, you can also use the different skull versions of that and then get the pets that match up with that. You also get the Hoe set bonus. And if I look at the set bonus, see if I can pull it up quickly. So if we look at my set bonus here, basically I'm just getting that 3% bonus, which is key to how you get the high universal resist. Since before that, the highest you can get is probably 95, for at least for fire. So there's that. And then of course you have the Heart Steel for 5%. Then I have the Tenant Snows. And again, I use this one because it gives me 4 resist and also gives me more health with the socket. You could also use a really good one a lot of people are still using now, the Talisman of the Daystar. This basically gives you critical instead, but you do lose about 150 health, which is kind of mean because you are trying to be a tank, and you don't really need Pierce if you're a tank. So there's that. And then you have the Hachi's Victory Band. This is something you can get in the Bazaar. So honestly, I would say just pick one up. You can just make it for like a kind of meme or joking deck. I don't really think it's that good, but it does give you decent power pip. And it does give you that 1% extra for resist, but not really important. But again, this helps you get to that 97. And then for my pet, you saw me finish it earlier. I just finished maxing out the stats. And it is a Grim Scare for the Real Fury bonus, and it gives me 21 resist. So it's the highest resist I'm pretty sure you can get on a pet. So there's that. I don't really have any mounts, so there's no resist mounts. So of course, you can get a power pip mount to help you out, or accuracy mount. But since this is kind of a joking setup, I wasn't messing with that. And then I have my regular tank and Jade, basically my Jade deck. So I'm not going to change any of the jewels or anything on that. And I'm not going to waste time trying to craft the 2% shadow resist deck. So there's the stats on that. And going over it again, I'm not that crazy about it. If you're actually trying to make this into like a legit tank set, there's something better you can do. And I'm going to show you that now. I will say this one's not going to have like completely balanced universal set, but you will be going immune to some schools. So let me show you what I actually do if I want you this one be a tank and not be a healer or a jade. So this is my tank set. Basically change out to Mr. Pebbles. And the stats on this one, you can see I'm going immune to at least 5 schools. And I can always swap out if I'm going immune to any of the spiritual schools just by taking off my ring. Right now I have the death one, but I can swap it to the life one or the myth one. Or I can even just go even higher resist into these other schools. So this is what I personally like to do if I'm just being a tank and don't have to focus on healing. So right now I have basically 19 accuracy to everything, and also 31 accuracy if I'm still going to just pop out a heal for no reason. Block is still mediocre. My income outgoing again is not as good as it used to be with my healing set. Maybe because I'm just not focused on that healing of the setup. But then my power pit's also still 97, so that's still really good if I'm trying to be just a tank. Now what I would say once we get to the deck, you should probably swap out if you just try and go for this set and not a healer set, your accuracy jewel for a power pip, just to say you can have a 100% power pip and still 100% healing on your spells. But again, this is what I use when I'm trying to be a J deck, so I don't want to swap out my jewel for my J deck. So to get to this setup, you're now going to use the J robe still. It's still the best resist robe for any school, so if you don't have the J Hood of Mystery, I guess you're out of luck. It's still the best thing you can get. Now what I do different now, I use a Spooky Carnival suit. And there's many reasons why. Only downside right now is that I lose basically 2 resists from the J robe, but I'm gaining 3% power pip, 6 accuracy. I'm also gaining about 14 outgoing and about 600 health. So being a tank, health is still a big point thing, and I don't want to be below 5,000 trying to be a tank, because still bosses can pierce a lot, so I do want that extra health, and I do like the accuracy I can get from my spells. And now I still use the Rockstar Kicks, because again, this is how I get still over 100. If you switch to the Jade boots, you're going to be below 100 to a lot of schools, so you don't want to do that. You still need boots of at least 18 resist. And now I still use my side staff. I still think it's one of probably the best ones you can have if you're a Jade, because it's basically going to say you're not going to fizzle any of your spells and about every time you'll get a power pip. So that's really important in the game, because sometimes you really need to heal a player on that last turn, or they're about to die, and you really don't want to fizzle, but you could get a mantle on you, and this is basically a way to help counter some of those mantles. And now we still have the heart still, because we are going for a tank set, so you need that 5% resist. Still using the same robe for the more health and good resist again. Now for the amulet, well not amulet but the ring, I can now use any of my resist rings, and I have one for each school. So I can just swap them out if I want to go more resist to bounce boss or life boss or whatever. I can still switch to what I need. So I'll definitely say this is probably a better setup than what the whole universal thing is, and that's more up to me. And now for my really good pet, good old ward pet here, we have Mr. Pebbles, and he basically gets a double resist and has 4 wards: balance, fire, ice, and storm. Those are just the ones I had, mainly because the first ones up there are basically just good for PvP. And since I stopped using my PvP pet, I just try to put on Storm Ward, mainly because that's just like the most OP bosses you run into. It can always inflict the most damage. If I had to remake this, I probably would take off the balance and probably put Death Ward. So it seems to be a lot of the final bosses are death nowadays, so that's just something good to ward against. I don't really have a mount to go up against this tank set, because all I can really gain is power pip and technically accuracy, which I don't really want. I guess if there was a mount out there, I think it's a rock pet, that gives me maybe 3% power pip. That would be really good for the setup, but I'm not going to waste crowns trying to get that. And then I just have my random healing deck, which again is still pretty good. So that's just the setup I would say you should probably want. Again, you're going immune to at least 5 schools, and that's really good. You've got really good accuracy, you got really good power pip, way more health, and I think this is probably the better tank setup if you really just want to tank as a 135. Alright, so that's going to do it for the video, and now it's that time of video. If you have any comments for the video, that can be over the channel, over the video to watch, or you can have any suggestions of what you may want to see in a future video. Take your time right now to pause the video, go down to the comment section, and leave it as a comment down below, because I love to read through those comments. A lot of times you give me a lot of good feedback, and I love just to talk and see what's going on in the comment section. Also, if you enjoyed this video or find it helpful, please leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. That just helps me make more content for you. So with that, I hope the rest of your week is blessed, and I hope I see you all in the next video. See ya.